as sparks fly from a blazing fire, so is it true that millions of living beings come out of God. This light transcends all beings, and this light is in all sentient beings. Tonight, we celebrate Diwali with people all over the world. The word Deepavali in Sanskrit means a row of lamps, could be literal or figurative. Tonight we pause and take account of the fact that energies of darkness and light can both be so active in our lives, from the subtle to the systemic, from the personal to the communal. Tonight we pause and lift up the people of Paris and France in our hearts. Tonight we pause and lift up people suffering from violence or pain or lack of choice anywhere around the globe. If you are here tonight feeling darkness, know that you are not alone. We are here together. We can rekindle one another's flames, and you can bring light to someone else. May this night of Diwali bring the light of compassion, service, and empowerment to all of us, and for all of those who celebrate Diwali around the globe. May the living of our lives blaze contagiously with courage and hope. My name is Kent Matthies. I have the privilege of serving with Daniel Gregoire as ministers here at the Unitarian Society of Germantown. We are thrilled to have this event, and Madam Chairwoman of Diwali, Andrea Durham, is on my right, and I invite you all right now to give thanks. This is Andrea's one of our ministries.
Thank you.
And I also, Andrea's family has been giving love and hospitality to this event for so many years. I want to pause and ask Selwyn, her father, and June, her mother, and her sister Danielle to stand up.
I think they're in the kitchen.
They're always in the kitchen when I do.
They're in the kitchen.
So we'll grab them later. So many people have helped. This is a time of some attention. Don't be shy. If you have helped, including the sound guys, with tonight, please stand up. Preparing in the week, today, tonight, if you're on please stand up if you're helping with Diwali. Thank you.
Everyone knows any event that happens does not happen alone, so I deeply appreciate all of the help. Well, that's my father there, Selwyn. I think my mom and sister are still in the kitchen. So we wanted to welcome you and thank you for coming and sharing this holiday with another billion people on the planet. So don't think you're celebrating alone. The other thing I just wanted to highlight is something about the flags. And somebody had asked me about why flags like Cuba or Puerto Rico were hanging and why they would be significant for Diwali. But what many people don't know is that large numbers of Indians were taken to the Caribbean in the mid-1800s. And so actually about 34,000 Northern Indians were taken to Cuba in the mid-1800s, and Hershey's, some of your dessert is from Hershey. Hershey actually had a chocolate factory in Cuba for many years, and those people worked to pick the cocoa that made the chocolate. So I just wanted to let you know that some places have smaller Diwali celebrations, but all of these flags represent places where people have celebrated Diwali. So again, I thank you for coming, and I wanted to just let you know that when we are lighting the diyas, and I'll remind you again, I just want all the kids to find their parents when we are doing that part of the ceremony. But we have something special for you as well tonight. This is the first time, so bear with us, but we have a theatrical event that will occur. We love you and we know you love us, so, you know. So we will share that with you later on this evening. So I will hand it over to Kent again, but thank you so much for coming and sharing this holiday with us. Oh, and also I just want to give a big shout out to my family in Trinidad, who they all say hello to you.
I now have the privilege to introduce Daniel and my colleague, the Reverend Abhi Janamanchi. Abhi is here. It's so special tonight to have him here helping lead Diwali. He's senior minister at a very fine Unitarian Universalist congregation in Bethesda, Maryland, named the congregation Cedar Lane UU Church. Abhi and I started in seminary together in Chicago in 1994, and I have been deeply blessed to have Abhi and his wife Lalitha's friendship all that time. Abhi, I could go on, but I'll just tell you a few things. This guy is special. And sometimes in your life, you meet people who are special. Body, mind, and spirit, heart. This guy is one of those to me. He served as president of the International Association of Religious Freedom. He's been on the UUA President's International Advisory Council, and he's been on the board of the Church of the Larger Fellowship. I look to Abhi for spiritual wisdom and insight and how to figure out what is the right thing to do in this complicated world. So we open our hearts and welcome you here tonight, Abhi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Kent, for that wonderful and warm welcome, and thank you, Andrea, for inviting me to join you to celebrate Diwali, especially at this time when we feel in some ways beleaguered by the violence and the hatred, the fear, and the suspicion that seems to drive many, many people in the world, and where we feel torn apart rather than brought together. It is good to be together in this way. What a beautiful space this is, and what a wonderful dinner we had. So thank you. Thank you again. So as Kent mentioned, Diwali or Deepavali is one of the most popular and joyous Indian festivals that is celebrated annually in late October or early November by Hindus, Sikhs, Jains, and Buddhists, not just in India, but also in Nepal and across the world, as you see the flags that are represented, and especially here in the United States. And the festive spirit of Diwali is expressed by those of any, all, or no faith. So it has in turn, over the years, become a very multicultural, pluralistic celebration, much more than just a Hindu celebration. Now, Diwali traditionally marks the beginning of the new year for businesses, and it also signifies the last harvest for the year before winter sets in. Symbolically, it is a new start in all aspects of life, including relationships with family and friends. It's a time for community and family celebrations with prayers, called puja, of togetherness, of sharing all resources of food and gifts. So for Hindus, the festivities of Diwali, which extend over 5 days, we can't ever do a festival in one day, it's just too small for us. Extends over 5 days, are celebrated by or observed by Hindus both in northern and southern India, but there are many stories underlying the celebration of Diwali. Universally, the celebration is the triumph of good over evil. Now, good is represented by gods like Rama or Krishna, and evil is represented by evil forces like Ravana or Narakasura, who you will get to meet later in this program. Now, while the stories behind Diwali vary from region to region, the message is essentially the same. It is to recognize, reconnect, and rejoice in the inner light, the Atman, that resides in each and every living being. And in that sense, reconnect with the divine principle. Now, therefore, the spiritual meaning of Diwali is the awareness and embodiment of the inner light. So that's one way to look at it, that we're not just lighting lamps in a symbolic way, physically, but we're also spiritually rekindling the lamp within. Now, this inner light outshines all darkness, removes all obstacles, and dispels all ignorance. It awakens the individual to one's true nature, not just as the body, but as the unchanging, infinite, and transcending reality, otherwise known as Brahman. That it is truly a celebration of how the Atman and Brahman are one, that the human and the divine are one. So on the night of Diwali, people light small lamps, diyas or deepas, placing them around homes, in streets, around stores, and they pray for good health, for knowledge, for prosperity, joy, and spiritual fulfillment in the new year. Now, the lamps tend to be symmetrically placed in rows, which is what Deepavali means. Avali means rose, and Deepa means lamp. So rows of lamps is what Deepavali means. And they are sometimes set up in creative patterns along doorways, windowsills, steps, walls, and terraces. Now, children are free to playfully arrange and rearrange these lights, and I guess you do that here. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure you have good insurance.
We have fire extinguishers.
Because that's one way to jumpstart a capital campaign. Yes, I'm sure some of the board members are thrilled. While children are free to light them and arrange them however they want, there are some basic requirements. In every home, one is required to place a light at the threshold of the house, the space where the outside meets the inside, to symbolize the space where the inner self meets this, our outer self. Now, the simplicity of a tiny light shining from the threshold is a powerful symbol of the meaning, purpose, and calling of Diwali. The divine spark, the Atman that resides within each of us, that dispels ignorance, fear, hatred, violence, and instills knowledge, courage, love, and peace in our hearts. Now again, in the Hindu tradition, the home is a metaphor of the body. Within the home shines the light that is the divine principle, Atman. It is the light that enables us to see, to hear, to smell, to taste, and to touch. Its radiance allows our mind to think, to imagine, and to create, our heart to feel compassion, and our hands to be of service. Now this light, the Kena Upanishad says, Srotrasya srotram manaso mano, yad vachoha vacham, sau pranasya pranaha, chakshushaha chakshuhu. This light is the year of the year, the mind of the mind, the speech of the speech. It is also the breath of the breath, the eye of the eye. It is that light that we celebrate and rekindle when we gather to celebrate Diwali. Now, this light is present equally in everyone. It enlivens all bodies and minds, and the purpose of this light in the Hindu tradition is to enable us to embody life more fully, to live life more fully, living each moment as if it were our last moment. Now, it is tempting to shut ourselves away in order to reawaken this inner light from all the pain, the suffering, and the destruction that we find in the world. It is tempting. But this light, even if it is awakened and kindled, if it is not used in service of a life larger than our own, it is considered to be deficient. So, this festival is not just about feeling good, though that is an important part of it. It is about what we do with that sense of joy and gratitude. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "We each are born with a debt, and that debt is to show our gratitude to life by being of service." And that's exactly what Diwali means. That is why you will see that on Diwali Day, especially here in our country, people engage in service activities, which is an important way of showing not only our gratitude for being alive, but sharing of our bounty with those especially in need. Now, the inner light is also what dispels our ignorance. It is what dispels fear. It is what dispels prejudice, all of which we find quite rampant in our world today. So, it's a motivator for us to be recommitting ourselves to work for justice. So, to sum it up, the Hindu way of life is based on the pluralistic acceptance of spirituality as embodied in the oft-repeated saying from the Rig Veda, Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadhanti. Truth is one. The sages call it by different names. Now, this has a deeper connection to us in the United States because our national motto, E pluribus unum, out of many, one, is basically what this ancient Vedic saying is seeking to embellish. And there is a deeper connection of our national motto to our own Unitarian Universalist faith. Our colleague, the late Reverend Forrest Church, explained it this way, that our Unitarian heritage points to the existence of one reality, one truth, one light, which shines through countless windows, many, many windows, each revealing a portion, an important portion of that light. One light, Unitarianism, shining through many windows, universalism. So, my friends, in the midst of all the beautiful lights of Diwali, on this holy night, let us meditate on the light at the threshold of our homes and our hearts, the place where light meets the shadows, the inner meets the outer, and our spirituality meets the world. The place where the light of God, of love, radiating from our hearts, engages the world with loving compassion and a commitment to justice. This Diwali, may we remember that our doors must be wide open to allow the light into our homes to enter the world. So may we commit to walk together in unity while affirming our diversity. May we commit to be a circle of life, manifesting the solidarity that will protect, savor, save, and serve life. And may we shine forth with the divine spirit that is within us and all around us, for this broken and beautiful world of ours needs all the light we have to bring. So I say to you, go shining. Happy Diwali.
Thank you, Abhi. And in one form of shining light, I know when you walked into the sanctuary tonight, you were each offered a little wristband, and on it says Black Lives Matter to Unitarian Universalist. Our denomination has voted to support this movement, and when you get home tonight or when you're walking down the street, you'll notice it glows in the dark. So this is one little way of us showing our light to the rest of the world. And at this time, I would like to invite Satriya Dance Company to come up, and Madhu, who is one of the principal dancers, will explain Satriya dance to you.
And as